Welcome back everyone. Today I'm a little bit in a preaching mode and I feel like I want to give you some advice, drop some knowledge bombs on topics and give you just some general lessons, and therefore I want to talk a little bit about training with a partner. So what's important for training with a partner? Let's have a look at the three most important topics to tackle here on how to get the most out of your partner and have a good training session together. Number one is, well, one of you guys is going to train and the other person is going to be the dummy most of the time who's helping you train, and then you swap around. So it's like a commitment from both of you to help each other out, to improve yourself, improve the other person and grow together. Yeah? Therefore, you also have to take the role that you're currently having. So if you're the training person, you will use the dummy the best so that he will do whatever you need to make the best improvements and have the best execution for your training, and also get feedback from him and ask him for feedback on topics that you can improve while you're training. Yeah? What is the role on the dummy? The dummy has one really important role, and that is he should not really think a lot. That's why he's the dummy. As you know. Funny. Okay, so therefore the dummy should just do what the other person is telling him. Yeah. Therefore, do just what he's being told and help the other person. Yeah. If it's just an exercise where the dummy is punching, you're defending, he should just punch the way he should punch in this exercise, not try some different punches because he feels like it to see what you're doing. Only do what he's being told, and if the other person is requesting you as the dummy to do something a little bit different, just follow that and do it maybe a little bit harder, maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more out of the norm. Yeah, just like your partner wishes and how he can train the best. Yeah, and then if you're switching, he will be the same for you and you can rely on each other. This is the correlation that's really most important for most of the training. Yeah. Sure, there is some other training where you're a little bit more on equal ground, where the dummy is not really working because, for example, if you're doing some sparring, then both of the trainers both can train together, and it's a different kind of training, but it's also something really unique with its own rules that have to be discussed to have a good training effect over there. So that's number one, train with a dummy. And there we come to number two. Number two is also a little bit related to the topic we just scratched, kind of sparring, because the number two is do not hurt your partner. Yeah. So the goal of the training is not to hurt each other, and therefore it's really important to be respectful and do not cause injuries. Because if you're training and you're training with a partner and you're training like 2 times a week, for example, therefore, you're training a lot. Yeah? And if you then get an injury, then you're not training, or he is not training for a month or several weeks, and you will not get better. Yeah? And if everyone is training like this and everyone's hurting each other, that's not going to help anyone. Yeah? Therefore, please watch out, and if you see your partner cannot do the same pace as you, well, then try to work on something where he can assist you better, or where you can train something together with low risk of injury, where you're still getting something out of your training. And for sparring as well, if you're doing sparring with a partner, just make sure that you're not really pulling the punches. And number three is training time with a partner is training time. Yes, you got that right. So if you're training together with a partner, it's different when training alone. When we're training alone, most of the time we're just focused and training and doing our exercises, doing our repetitions, or going through our program and just crushing it, and taking our mind really to it. If we are training with a partner though, then it can easily happen that we drift apart, and say like, okay, but how was your weekend? And okay, yes. Did you do that exercise last week as well? Okay, so how was it last week? I see. And who did you train last week with? And you're going into just some kind of flow, and you're talking about non-relevant, not training stuff. But if you're here for the training, and the other person usually is here for the training as well, but it's easy to get each other distracted. So you can talk after the training, that's no problem at all. Just take some time, go have lunch together or dinner, and have some free time with your training partners. That's allowed. You can also meet up or something else to talk if you're so eager to talk, because it's really something that's it has no place in a really training environment. I know it sounds a little bit try hard to like, but you're not allowed to do this and that and have fun, and I know, but that's the kind of training that brings us forward. You also, most of the people going, for example, to the gym to train there, and not a lot of people go there to talk with their buddies and maybe train a little bit and next time train. So it's just an attitude topic, but also a topic of respect to your training partner, because he's also expecting to train usually, and also respect to the other people who are maybe in the same training group as you, that could be distracted by you talking and not talking about training. And while we are talking about training, also if you're training with the body, and you're talking, you can talk about training and the execution of the training and the exercises and how you're doing while training, but also on that you should keep that to something that's not too outraging, where you're going into like 10-minute philosophy lessons on why you think you are right and the other person is wrong. Try not to do that. If you have a question, ask someone who is also experienced or more experienced than yourself, and ask them the question. They will give you a quick answer, you can follow it, and then you can go back to the training. So also try to not distract yourself with just some random arguments about who is correct with the training. So that's something that can also come up. So therefore, to cut it short, just try to focus on the training, also if you're training with a partner. I hope you liked that little bit of preaching on training etiquette with a partner, and I hope you have a good training partner or find a good training partner so you can bring those topics to use, and they will be most likely very happy if you're bringing everything of this to the table already. So have fun training.